and welcome to the Imagine Crafts YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted here on YouTube, and today I am going to create a galaxy background. I was inspired by actually a video that I watched on how to create galaxy backgrounds with oil pastels, something that I want to dabble with, but I thought I really enjoyed the color combinations that they used in that video, so that's actually what inspired this sort of palette that I'll be working with. The first color I'm starting with is Neptune. It's a really nice dark bluish purple. There is a little bit more purple in there. I wish I had something a little bit more kind of a midnight blue, but it works really well, especially throwing some of the cyan ink right over top there, so that does push it a little bit more towards the blue. And as I'm blending, I am trying to blend it so that towards the edges I'm just leaving kind of a light layer, and that way that pigment or that color can start to mix into and overlap with the next color to come. So after cyan, I've got the violet. That's the darker of the two shades of purple that I'm using, and then the lighter of the two shades is heliotrope. So as I am blending, I'm trying to make sure that I'm overlapping my colors a little bit so that they really start to mix in. The nice thing about galaxies is that you don't really need a super perfect gradient blend from one color to the next, because the night sky, it's not all perfect. It's got a lot of, just depending on what's going on, maybe there's some clouds, maybe there's some different things in the atmosphere that are changing some of the colors in the sky. And so if it's not a perfectly smooth blend, I think it actually adds to the galaxy background. Now, I am going to go in with some of my VersaFine Clear Nocturne black ink, and that helps to really darken this whole sky, and in particular I'm really focusing around the edges, and I keep going back in here and there with my Versacolor. All of these inks are pigment ink, and so they are going to sit on top of your cardstock and blend a little bit more easily. And as well, since pigment inks don't dry super duper fast, that also gives you a lot of time to blend. So just going back and forth, adding color here and there, just to kind of shift things, make them a little bit darker, make them a little bit lighter. You can really spend a lot of time playing with this, but I think galaxy backgrounds are fun because you can't really go wrong, I think. And so one of the things that I'll do later is really add some more of that black to really darken it. And maybe that's the only thing that I feel for me was scary about doing galaxy backgrounds, was going too dark. But what I'm doing here is I've taken some of the Delicata Silvery Shimmer ink, smushed it onto an acrylic block, and watered that down so that I can just flick some of that silver shimmer right across my night sky. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. This is titanium white acrylic paint, also watered down so that it will flick off of the edge of the acrylic block. And the reason why I like to use the two is because the silver is really subtle. So that almost makes it look like there are stars that are super far away, and then you have stars that are bright white and maybe they're larger, and so they shine a little bit brighter. So it's just one of those things that I feel like it just adds a little bit of extra depth, a little bit of extra shimmer and shine, as subtle as it is, and it's just that nice kind of finishing touch to the night sky. And as I mentioned, I'm going back in with my black ink to really darken those edges. Probably could have darkened it even more. But I want to leave some parts nice and bright and light, because sometimes that happens. You get some, especially if you live in an area where you can see the aurora borealis effect. There are some really beautiful, beautiful colors that you can see in the sky. And in a galaxy, I'm used to seeing all sorts of interesting different colors. So this in particular, I thought was a fun combination to work with. Now, I did originally cut my panel down to 4¼ by 5½. So this all conveniently fits onto a USA2 size card base. And then the rest is going to be really simple. I have this really fun cityscape die that cuts this border out. And I've die cut that out of black cardstock. And all I'll do is just put this at the bottom as a bit of a silhouette. And that's going to be kind of, there you can see I'm covering up most of the pink, but you just see sort of that, just that hint of it, as if, not so much that the sun has just set, but just to give that sort of little peak of the pink. And the last thing that I'll do is just trim off all of that excess black cardstock and add a really simple sentiment strip, because I don't want to take away too much from this night sky, so I don't want to add much of that. I think when you've done a lot of work on a background, at least for me, I don't want to cover it all up. So I'm keeping the card really, really simple, and this little sentiment strip I'll pop up with some of my low profile foam, and then I will consider this card done. And so there you can see I keep going right back in with my black ink just to really get those borders nice and dark. And this was a lot of fun to create, and if you haven't made a galaxy background, I hope you'll give it a try. And if you're not too sure what colors to use, give this color combination a shot and let me know what you think. So here's a final close-up look at my card today. So lots of fun and pretty simple actually to create this. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment to let me know what you think of it. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.